guys, welcome to the channel, and this is another episode of the CAS Diversity Challenge that I've been doing every single Tuesday for a bit now. If you haven't seen the other parts, you can check that out if you want to. I'll provide a link down below as well as in the top right corner. But basically I use a number generator to figure out from a list of nationalities and genders and ages. But I'm just gonna do nationality and ages because I personally feel like you can't really accurately portray gender identity in CAS. That's more through gameplay, so that's just how I'm doing it, but you can do it however you want. I'll also have the instructions to the challenge down below if you want to do it yourself. So let's get started. Learning with Adri. So if you don't know where the Maori live, they live predominantly in New Zealand, which is right here, southeast of Australia. And this is actually a dance that they do. And this is a photo of a waterfall somewhere in New Zealand. This is off the coast. Just want to show you what it kind of looks like. This is beautiful. So the way that they greet each other is to kind of just touch their foreheads together. And that is basically because it's a tradition of sharing what they call the breath of life, and it's considered to come directly from the gods. So that's how they kind of greet each other, but it's not just their loved ones or their family, just anybody really who comes and visits them or comes in contact with them. So that's how they greet each other. And the red mask, I don't think I had time to talk about it really. Well, it's not a mask, it's a wood carving, but that was an example of the artwork that they kind of do on the island. And I was looking up names for them, and I liked the name Anaru. I think that's how you pronounce it, but it basically means Andrew in their language. They are an incredibly ancient culture. They're a Polynesian culture. And the ancestors of the Maori arrived from eastern Polynesia during around like the 13th century. And they brought a lot of Polynesian culture and customs and beliefs with them. And the most current evidence right now that strongly suggests that their first settlement ever in New Zealand happened around 1280 CE. But yeah, they're really amazing culture, very beautiful people, and I had a lot of fun learning about their culture because they have a lot of traditions and customs connected to what they wear, how they present themselves, in a lot of areas in their life really. In their language, the word Maori, like what their tribe is called, it means normal, natural, or ordinary. In their legends, the word distinguished ordinary mortal humans from deities and spirits. So, traditional Maori beliefs have their origins in Polynesian culture, of course, and so the Polynesian concepts such as tapu, which means sacred, noa, which means non-sacred, and mana, which means authority and prestige, and wairua, which means spirit. Also, I apologize for anything I mispronounce. So they believe all these things govern everyday living. And so these beliefs and practices, they remained in their culture until the arrival of Europeans, which pretty much what they did was they kind of assimilated their religion and mythology, and kind of merged it with Christianity. But they still practice a lot of what they believed, like, for centuries and centuries. They were actually involved in World War I, and I didn't know this, but during World War I, a Maori pioneer force was taken to Egypt, and they had like a combat infantry battalion, which is like amazing. I had no idea that they were a part of it. As you could tell, I had put some tattoos on him, and markings and tattoos are very special in their culture because it's kind of like the history of a person's achievements, what their status is in their tribe, and it kind of tells a story of their family and who they are, kind of. So it's called Moko. It's worn by both men and women. A lot of the tattoos and markings are placed on the face, especially if you're a more high-ranking individual within the tribe itself. And but unfortunately, there was no tattoos or anything like that for the face for Sims, so I just gave him what I thought looked most similar to what they kind of mark on their bodies. But what's kind of cool is on the right side of the face, it's to signify the mother's history, and on the left side, it's to signify the father's history. So that's really interesting. I didn't picture it in the example pictures, but if you look up the Maori people, you'll find a lot of pictures of them like sticking out their tongues and like making their eyes look really big. And I was like, why are they doing that? Like, what importance is that to them? Because I saw it a lot. And apparently they stick out their tongue as part of like a performance or a dance. And different type, they're called hakas. So the different type of hakas are performed for different reasons and occasions. So to greet visitors, for just entertainment, or to acknowledge an important event or achievement of some kind. And in their culture and in their history, they also used to do those type of things before battle. And so that's interesting. And then here I was just giving him a necklace because most Maui people, if not all, wear what's called a fish hook. And the fish hook shape of the Hai Matu, it has to do with one of their legends. So basically the legend says that the North Island of New Zealand was once a huge fish that was caught by the Great Maui. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, using only a woven line and a hook made from the jawbone of his grandmother. So kind of creepy, but kind of cool at the same time. So legend says that the shape of the hawk bay is that of the Hai Matu, which caught in the fish's side on the beach. So the Maori name for the North Island is Te Ika Maui, the fish of Maui, is what it translates to. So the necklace that they wear is kind of like a cultural treasure in a way, because it represents their land, and it also represents prosperity, fertility, and kind of like a safety measure for when you're traveling over water. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope that you learned something new, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next part. Bye!